we actually have officially launched our membership.
It's nice to get an email, but it's also nice to put a face to the name because it makes it a little bit easier to communicate to each other.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Women Speak Show. I am your host, DP Jeter, holding it down for the #1 sisterhood in the industry, Women in Media Global. And I'm really excited about this episode. So make sure that you are subscribed to our website, womeninmediaglobal.org. And we actually have officially launched our membership. I know it's been years in the making. It's been a long time coming, but you have an opportunity to be an official WIM sister by joining our membership. It is actually a directory of Women in Media Global. So a lot of you are looking for opportunities to either present yourself, the services that you have, the business that you have, and you have a desire to connect with other movers and shakers in the industry. So the Women in Media National Directory is where you want to be. Follow our Instagram at WIM Global. Click the link in our bio and you'll be able to join and get an annual membership. So I'm so excited about our episode today. We have Tweety Elitou, who is here to share a lot of good information and knowledge for you. We met online, actually. We met in a Facebook group, in the Women in PR group. Shout outs to Women in PR. It's an amazing resource and community on Facebook. I've been a part of it for many years, and Tweety has always been a very involved member in that group. And so thank you for just always being open and being willing to connect. And we're both from Philly. So it was like we connected online. We're both from Philadelphia. So I'm so excited to have you on the show. Welcome the show, to Women in Media. And we're excited to have you. So let's kick things off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself, and you can feel free to do an introduction as well.
So thank you so much for having me on the show, Danielle. So my name is Tweety Elitou. I am the Editor-in-Chief of BrownStyle Magazine. BrownStyle Magazine is a lifestyle and luxury magazine for women of color who want to unlock the soulful soft life. And I guess we can get into that a little bit more as we talk. But previously, I was the senior lifestyle editor at BET Paramount. And during that time, I got to work with a lot of amazing people, a lot of fun publicists, and a lot of great projects. And I say, born and raised in Philadelphia, a Philly girl, true and true. I'm that John. I'm all about sisterhood and unity and working together to move the media industry forward, especially bridging the gap between writers, editors, and publicists, because we need each other more than ever.
I love that. And so are you currently still residing in Philly and running BrownStyle Magazine?
Yes, back and forth between Philly and New York.
Awesome. Okay. So what made you shift gears in your career from working for another media publication and then going ahead to launch your own?
I wanted to live a soft life. Working in the corporate world for over 10 years, but particularly working at BET for 6 years, although I had a great experience, it was exhausting. There were times when I felt myself just being physically, mentally, spiritually exhausted. The day-to-day, constantly trying to keep up with emails, keeping up with projects and tempo events and all that stuff. It could be a lot. And I found myself not having enough time to do what I love to talk about, which is self-care. So I found myself needing time to really pour into myself. And I found myself writing about a lot of other people's experiences in life. And I truly was inspired to enjoy my soft life on my terms. After 6 years, I said bye-bye to corporate and decided to launch my own publication.
That's really inspiring, and congratulations again on launching your publication. I'm happy to hear that we have another Black-owned, woman-owned media company and publication here available for all of us. So I'm super excited to see where you go with it. And it's quite interesting that you talk about the soft life, and then the fact that you mentioned that you needed time. You wanted to get your time back, and you wanted more time to pour into the things that you love. And I've been going on this social media rant this week, and I go live and I'm talking about how you can save more time, how you can save time to make more money. And one of the things is we have to remember that it takes time to be successful. It takes time to build a business. And if you are aspiring to be a six-figure earner, 7, 8, you want to be a multimillionaire, it takes time. So you have to be very particular about how you utilize your time. And I just think that it was just like, wow, you just mentioned that, and I'm like on the rant about the time.
Definitely intentional about your time and the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah. So talk about, is there a particular favorite moment or project that sticks out to you? You was at BET for 6 years, right?
I don't know. I feel like every experience I had was something that I valued. So I don't know if there's a particular moment that I really enjoyed more than the next, but I will say that I really enjoyed working with some thought leaders, some women who were really forward thinking, women who were really pushing the needle about media and how we're portrayed in media. I'm really thankful to the women I worked with. And I'm also really thankful for all the lessons I learned being in the media industry since I was a teen. Like, I launched my first blog when I was 11 called Young, Hip, and Chic. So I've been in business for a long time.
I remember Young, Hip, and Chic. You were a teenager at that
time? Yes. I was one of the first teenagers to launch a blog and to also be in New York Fashion Week, sit in front row.
That's dope. So that was some milestones.
Yes, for sure. But I couldn't talk about all that without mentioning my parents, who are a huge inspiration for me as far as going into the media industry, because they both ran a self-publishing business, which was really a great outlet for people of color who wanted to share their stories. Not to mention, they were one of the first online magazines to launch. So I had a lot of experience watching and growing around so many amazing people. And I've been privileged to do that. So I don't want to give one moment a highlight. I just have to say that my whole experience talking to everyone I talk to and storytelling in general has been like a wonderful experience.
So let's pay homage to some of those women. You mentioned that there's some women who you worked with that are pushing the needle forward. Who are some of those people?
All right. So some of the people that I have to make mention to is Wendy Wilson. She was our executive editor, and she was a phenomenal woman, very forward-thinking, very organized, and I loved working with her. Amy Barnett, who was one of the VPs at BET, she was a huge advocate for women in media, so I appreciate everything that she did, as well as like the advice and mentorship she was able to offer, as well as Danielle Prescott, who was actually our style director when I first came on as a junior writer, which she was really helpful in navigating like the fast-paced storytelling that comes in entertainment.
It is very fast-paced.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. So how has your transition been from corporate America to full-time entrepreneur?
It's been an experience. I love it. Coming from corporate world, I experienced burnout. So to be able to pivot my mindset, entrepreneurship is a lot of work. It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. But when you love what you do and you're passionate about the work that you're putting out there, I think it makes all the difference. So I would say it's been a transition, but it's been a transition that I'm appreciative for.
So tell us about some of the stories that you've been able to put on BrownStyle Magazine so far.
BrownStyle is a lifestyle luxury magazine for women of color, and we're all about living the soulful soft life. So when we say soul, we mean it to be self-care, opulence, unity, and love. So those are the pillars of our publication. So you'll see a lot of stories about women and their self-care habits. You'll see a lot of stories about how they're living their luxurious self-care, soft life, lifestyles, and on their own terms. And I like to say all the time, luxury is not about how much you spend, it's about the experience. So we have all kinds of great personal essays. We have some really fun love stories. We have a few columnists who share personal essays and expert advice on navigating life and making sure that you don't have too much stress. So we're truly a lifestyle magazine. So anything that you want to find out about soulful soft living, you can find at BrownStyle.
And is it for women of color in particular?
Yes.
I love that. It just sounds, as I'm hearing you share about the topics, I have pictures in my mind of what that even looks like for me. And then also, oh, wow, it's probably some information here that could help me develop more of a soft life and to get more in style with that as well. So I love that for sure.
Yes, you get us.
I do. Okay, so I would love to know, Tweety, is there available opportunities for women in media who are seeking to work at a magazine like yours? Do you have opportunities?
Yeah, like I said before, we're definitely open to personal essays. If you have a story that relates to self-care, opulence, unity, or love, then feel free to send us a pitch. Our email is editors@IamBrownStyle.com. And we're always open for like interesting angles about how you're living your soft life, how you're navigating life without stress, and definitely looking for like interviews and creative storytelling from people who want to change, the way that they navigate life.
So are you looking for writers at all, or just pitches?
Yeah, for writers, pitches, bring them on. We're open for it all.
Okay, ladies, y'all trying to get y'all careers, add some stuff onto your resume, and make sure you check out BrownStyle Magazine and give it a shot. You never know. And she's right in Philadelphia, so I know a lot of our listener audience is in Philly as well. So that's awesome. So talk to us about like, how is a magazine business set up? What is your operations like? Who's on the team? Take us into your world.
Ooh, how long do you have?
We got you a couple minutes. Maybe
Let's see. As an editor-in-chief, I can talk from what I do in the day-to-day operations. Okay, so pretty much my day is spent doing interviews, emails, loads and loads of emails, lots of meetings with the marketing team, with the sales team, with just the team in general. I spend a lot of time with editorial creation. I spend a lot of time with building and networking. So my day is mostly spent connected to a phone and on the internet. And when I'm not doing that, I'm socializing in person.
So you mentioned that you have a sales team. Are you looking for more people on your sales team as well? If anybody would be interested?
If you have something that you want to pitch, like a collaboration or something like that, yeah, I'm more than open.
Okay, cool. That sounds great.
Let me go. Just let me grow. Don't smother my potential. Let me be what I was.
Introducing the Women Speak Show, produced by Women in Media Global. Join us every Sunday at 10 a.m. on Video Mix TV for entertaining and empowering stories, insightful interviews, and inspiring content hosted by Danielle P. Tune in and elevate your journey with us.
Chasing and I keep on embracing.
So with BrownStyle Magazine and your role, what's your vision 10 years from now? Where do you want to see your career in media and also the magazine?
For BrownStyle Magazine, I would love to see it become the go-to place for women who want to live the soft life. And I want it to be a reminder and a mood board that we deserve a safe place. We deserve a place that makes us feel valued and celebrated. I want it to be a publication that everyone reads. And I feel like it's just one of those things where you have to do step by step and day by day. It's not going to happen overnight. So I believe in being realistic with my timing and just making sure that I'm doing the work to get to my goal.
And then 10 years from now, are you still going to be editor-in-chief, or do you have other aspirations in media?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't really say where I'd be in 10 years. I would say that I would be still the editor-in-chief of BrownStyle Magazine, but I don't know what life has in store for me. So I don't want to be just putting out there without knowing. One of those people who I'm really intentional about what I say. So I'm just going with the flow right now. And I'm hoping that people get BrownStyle and they understand where we're going. And they also appreciate the value and the time we're putting into building it.
And when you say chief, does that mean that you are like the head boss in charge?
Even a head boss in charge has a team. Like I co-founded it with my sister, Editor-in-Chief Elitou. She worked she worked with Essence, Birdie. Like her resume is extensive. Even though I'm the editor-in-chief, I believe in partnership and I'm strong in collaboration. So just because I'm the editor-in-chief doesn't mean I make just the final decision. I'm all about talking to my entire team. My mom is the senior managing editor, so I coach.
So it sounds like it's a family business.
It's definitely a family thing. My dad is my business manager. So although I'm the one who makes the last call, it's always a collaborative. So
that's really inspiring to see that you have your sister, your father, your mother, any other family members involved?
Yes. My teen sister, she is our editorial assistant, so she's learning the ropes. So yeah, it's really truly a family business. business, and I consider the people who work with us like family. So the whole environment is just a positive experience.
That's really inspiring. It just made me want to support BrownStyle even more, to know that it's like a whole a Black family, all invested, all on one accord, have a shared vision, and that's rare. So I applaud your parents. I applaud you and the entire family on, of course, for creating such a beautiful experience for women and women of color at that. It reminds me of Black Enterprise, of how that publication also started with the family and has now grown into a nice sized business who has been around for so many years. So I think that is really amazing, for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So as we move on into things, you mentioned that you're very much about supporting the collaboration between media outlets, publicists, and I believe you said like editors,
writers.
All of that.
Editors, writers, journalists, people in the media industry in general, connecting and bridging the gap between them and publicists, because I feel like it's something that we need, especially since we work so closely together.
Yeah.
We're like this.
So in what ways are you carrying out that vision and support currently?
Right now, I started the Editor's Corner, which I do on Facebook every other Friday. So we take that time to have conversations about the media industry, how we can work together, celebrate some of the wins we have, talk about some of the things that we are having challenges with, and just find ways to work together. And like you said, I'm always in the Facebook groups. I'm always talking and asking questions and collaborating. I'm huge on building connections. I'm huge on hopping on a phone call with someone and getting to know them, doing interviews, going to social events. Although I haven't had as much time to go to as many social events that I would like to, I make an effort to network as often as I can.
Yeah, I think that is really important that you are hosting your Editor's Corner on Facebook. I have never been invited to an Editor's Corner. I don't know if that is something that you're innovating in the industry, or it's been going on. I just haven't gotten into that loop. But
I know we always had desk sides.
Desk sides, yes, desk sides, yes.
Desk sides. I love desk sides. I haven't gotten to do one of those in a while. But yeah, no, the Editor's Corner is more so like my Facebook Live interaction. So you can ask me any questions you have about media, any questions you have about BrownStyle Magazine. That's pretty much my give and back moment where I could just have a regular conversation with people.
And help other people's careers.
It's all about just having those conversations. I find that to be important. I think a lot of people don't realize the power we still have in communication, because communication opens doors and opens opportunities for collaboration. And it doesn't mean that you have to be in person. You can always hop on a Zoom call or Google Meet and get to know these people that you're talking to, because like I tell publicists all the time, it's nice to get an email, but it's also nice to put a face to the name, because it makes it a little bit easier to communicate to each other.
I would say that as a publicist myself, and having been in the industry for so long, one of the ways that I've been able to really build a successful career and brand is because of the communication. And even like you said, I made time to set up those meetings to reach out and ask people to connect, make the phone calls. And sometimes when I make phone calls, people are like, wow, you went the extra mile, like this is old school. And like, I appreciate the fact that you made the call. And I'm like, because I'm looking to establish a relationship, and that's important. So that's a huge takeaway for us who's all tuned in to just those golden rules of communication, of just connecting with people, having face-to-face, having interactions, making the phone calls. The email is great, but I've had the best results when people are able to experience my energy, experience me, and see and just feel who I am. And that has been able to open up a lot of doors. So that is a huge takeaway, women in media.
Yes, for sure. And also, don't forget to address the person that you're emailing. No hey boos, which was a big conversation in one of the groups. Hey boo.
Oh, in the email?
Yeah, like they never met each other before. I was like, wow. Yeah, you have to address the person that you're emailing. Hi, the person's name. And it also doesn't hurt to be a little bit kind. How is your day going? Hope all is well with you. Those are the small little things. Different, because we get thousands of emails, thousands of them. And it's really hard to email everyone back. So those small little courtesies, those little personalized pieces, that makes the world a difference, because it's okay, I know this person. I talk to this person all the time. Even if the answer is no, I still have to have a little bit of time to reach out to them and let them know what's going on. So
that's a perfect segue. Are there any other tips that you would give out to those who are seeking to get featured in a magazine or article?
For sure, know as much as you can about your client. Keep the email short, because again, we don't have a whole lot of time to read really long press releases. So if you can send the press release as an attachment and put in the email just what it is that this client is doing, what kind of angles you're going for, that makes a world of difference. Have your angles, read the publication, get to know what the aesthetic of the publication is before you pitch. If you're pitching to a magazine who focuses purely on beauty, you don't want to pitch them anything that's not beauty.
Travel.
Unless it's like travel essentials.
Right. It has to,
you can work it. You can make it work.
You can make it work.
Please refrain from the extra long AI emails. I'm one of those people who, because I've been in this industry for so long, because I edited so many stories, I can always tell when things are AI. So it doesn't hurt to put some personalization and don't feel it necessary to have really long, drawn-out emails.
Those are really great tips.
Thank you.
We're here on the Women Speak Show, our podcast and talk show from Women in Media Global. And so I get pitches as well from other publicists, other talent who is looking for opportunity to get on the podcast. And I will tell you, y'all need to show up at Tweety's Editor's Corner every other Friday, take some tips, take some information, and really execute on information, because the pitches we get could be better. And it goes a long way when you take the time to really research the outlet that you are trying to become a part of, or that you want to get your story shown on. Because if you send a pitch that's off guard, I'm like, I can tell you don't know what my show is about, because we don't have anything on my show that talks about this. Right? So you're putting effort into putting yourself out there, sending off the pitch, sending off the email. So you at least want to be successful at doing it. So make sure y'all go get those tips from her.
Yes.
Make sure you
please, I just had to add this in there. Please respect people's deadlines, and please make sure you share the stories. I'm a huge advocate for sharing the stories, because without doing it, our publications cannot continue to exist if we're not all working together. And publicists need us as much as we need you guys. Sharing just makes the world a difference. And it could just be shared on social media. It just changes the way we navigate this media industry. We need each other. In order for people to keep reading, we have to promote, and social media is a big part of it. I'm huge on share the stories that you pitch. I think that makes a difference.
You brought up a really great point. And as a publicist on both sides, whether I'm producing my show or whether I'm doing a PR pitch for a particular client that I have, one of the things when I am coaching clients and introducing them to opportunities, I tell them that we have to agree to share the content once it comes back, because that is going to help us build our relationship with this media outlet. It's going to help this editor. It's going to help this writer. We have to agree to do that. That is another great tip. And when this episode comes out, I hope Tweety going to share us too.
Of course. Yeah. I always do. Yes. Because I know that it takes time. Even the editing process, it's going to take time. Out of respect to people's time, I share. I think that's fair to do. And I think that there's something that it should be standard practice in our industry.
It should be. I love that. Is there anything that you've written up about standard practices? Is there a download somewhere?
I'm working on it. I'll be sure to send it your way on. I'll hop back one with you, and we can talk.
We're going to do an episode on that. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. This has been so joyful. I definitely want to just take a moment to talk about one of the things you said you were passionate about, which is the portrayal of women in media.
Yeah.
And when we talk about that, what are some of the first things that comes to mind on that particular topic?
I would like to see us highlight it in a more positive way. All the places I worked for Excel Nicole, I worked for BET, I've done stuff for InStyle. I always made it my purpose to highlight us in a positive way, to always showcase us winning and us doing things to uplift and inspire each other. I'm huge about that, because without that, we're not being portrayed properly. So I'm a huge advocate for making sure that we're seen as great as we can be. And that's why our pillars at BrownStyle is all about self-care, opulence, unity, and love, and just shining light on us and our stories and the importance of having a soulful soft life and how they can just change the trajectory of your life.
Wow, I think that is a wonderful way to put a bow on this great conversation. I hope that you all took a lot out of this conversation. I will say that I've always vibed with Tweety whenever she showed up online. We've never met in person, I don't know.
We gotta catch up.
But we've been just in shared digital spaces and have always held a lot of respect for you because of one, you've had a successful career in media, but you just on point, you're definitely on point. I'm excited to see BrownStyle Magazine with the family, and we have a like mind where it comes to portraying women in a very positive space, and that's what Women in Media is all about. That is the passion in which we were founded on, and that we're going to continue to drive that narrative forward as well. We definitely are partners in that, and we'll continue to push those positive narratives.
100%. And I want to give you your flowers too, because I see everything that you're doing. I see what you're doing with Women in Media. I constantly see you on my timeline working and getting it done. So big shout out to you. And as a fellow Philly sister, I love to see the work ethic that you're putting in.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's all love. Thank you so much. I receive it, and I'm grateful.
We got to see each other in person.
Yeah, so I'm going to be intentional about setting that up in advance so that we can make sure that happens, and would love to see you at one of our Women in Media events this year. And again, any way that we can support, just let us know. And I have one final question for you.
Okay.
And we always talk about wise words learned from women. So what is a piece of advice that you have learned from a woman in your life, and who was she?
It's so many. Let me think. Okay. I think it would have to be just off the top of my head, because I grew up with this. My mom always told me to be prepared. So I'm huge on being prepared. And prepared doesn't mean just making sure that you have your notebooks and your pens and all that stuff. It's just being prepared mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to set out a goal and there's something that you want to achieve, then you have to prepare your mind for it. It's not an overnight thing. And I think a lot of people think that, oh, if I do this, then I'll be instantly overnight a star. Yes, it happens for some people, but not for everyone.
Right.
I'm huge on being prepared and being intentional with everything that I do, and intentional with the people that I built my tribe.
I was literally just talking about overnight success with my mom. Literally and just how a lot of the younger generations and being influenced by social media, and how you'll see success stories of people who have gotten this uncommon level of fast success. And so now we think that we have to have everything now, or it needs to happen for us immediately. And if it doesn't happen by this age, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And it just isn't true.
Everything is in divine timing. Yeah, divine timing. Divine timing makes all the difference. And that's why I try to showcase in BrownStyle. Like, we have stories where people share that it wasn't always easy. Like, I like to bring in realistic storytelling, because I feel like that's where we find motivation and inspiration. And even through our daily newsletters, we do daily newsletters and we share affirmations. So like everything that we do, make sure you sign up. The website is IamBrownStyle.com. But yeah, everything we do is truly intentional, and I think it makes a difference.
I love that. Listen, y'all, this has been another great episode of the Women Speak Show. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all of your support of Women in Media Global. Make sure you go subscribe to BrownStyle Magazine. Follow Tweety on all of her channels. And if you have any last words, if you want to share any of your handles, please do, Tweety.
Oh, sure. So you can follow BrownStyle at BrownStyle. So you can also check out the website at www.IamBrownStyle.com. And I think we're pretty much BrownStyle Magazine on other social platforms. I just want to say once again, thank you so much for taking out the time to talk to me today, and I look forward to you talking soon.
Thank you so much, Tweety.
Yes, thank you.
All right, have a good one, everybody. See you on the next episode of the Women Speak Show. Bye.
Bye.
I turned out, won't you let me grow? Won't you let me grow?
let me go. Just let me grow. Don't smother my potential. Let me be what I was sent here for.